hashtag Twitter exposed. If you search that on Twitter, you'll find all kinds of stuff. And why is this so important? Well, I think you saw in 2020 kind of the pinnacle of Twitter and its control over media when a story about Hunter Biden's laptop was blocked from being shared, not just by the news outlet that wrote the story before the November 2020 election, but anybody who tried to share it, a link to that story, it was blocked by Twitter and then followed up by other social media companies saying it was Russian disinformation. That's not the case. After the election, of course, corporate media came out and said, oh, this is a story. Okay. So you can see that social media companies definitely have a role in our public debate and our ability to see what's real and what's not, or just to get unfettered information. But what we're seeing play out with Twitter in particular definitely feels like some 4D chess coming from not just Elon Musk, but also Project Veritas. I'm Greg Bishop. Thanks for hanging up. Thanks for hanging out. Don't hang up. You can always call in live and local, 217-629-7970. I promise I won't hang up on you. It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. So, weeks ago, we heard that Musk was buying a bunch of Twitter stock. He bought, $9 billion, became a large shareholder. And then it was revealed that he's going to go ahead and make a bid to purchase Twitter. Now, Twitter, of all the social media companies, you look at how big Google is. It's massive, right? With YouTube. You look at how massive Facebook is with Meta. There's no way Musk could have purchased those, right? It would have cost tens of more billions of dollars, if not $100+ billion. Who knows? But Twitter is a lower valued company, but it's still very relevant in the space of social media, especially for content creators and journalists. A lot of people use Twitter specifically to get information out instantly, and how Twitter's different than, say, Instagram or Facebook is anybody can interact with anybody on Twitter unless that individual makes their page private, right? With Facebook, you really only interact with people that you become friends with, and you only see who you're friends with or pages you follow. Twitter, everybody can interact with everybody. All right, you don't have to follow them per se. So it creates a different level of debate. So that's why Twitter's so significant. And I think Elon Musk, in his bid to purchase Twitter, may have stumbled upon something he was aware of before all of this became public. And that is questions about the algorithm Twitter uses, about bots, about the censorship that happens. So by his purchase, it created a kind of avalanche of internal things happening at Twitter and reviews about how many bots there are. And there's questions on if the actual purchase of Twitter is going to move forward, because there's allegations that Musk violated terms of the agreement, including a non-disclosure, saying that he was himself going to do what Twitter was doing, reviewing 100 accounts to see how many bots there were. So some ongoing debate back and forth about that. But as that's going on about the purchase of Twitter, you've got Project Veritas coming out and doing their undercover reporting. And yesterday they released the second day's worth of video. But I want to go back to what they released the day before on Monday, where they had undercover video of senior Twitter engineer telling an undercover journalist that they don't believe in free speech and that they are very, very left-leaning. And I think the term he used is communist as F. And I'm pretty sure this is edited, but we got the dump button just in case. Keep that in mind. All right. So here's some of what that individual had to say in undercover video from Project Veritas.
So do you think there's a difference between Twitter's definition of free speech and Elon's definition of free speech?
Twitter does not believe in free speech. Elon believes in free speech.
Twitter does not believe in free speech.
They hate it. Some of my colleagues are super left. Jobs are at stake. He's a capitalist. If we were really operating like capitalist mode, we were very socialist. We're all communist. I basically went to work like 4 hours a week last quarter.
So ultimately, you've got this Twitter employee saying that they're very left, and also talking about the concerns there are of Elon Musk taking over Twitter because he's a capitalist and they're socialist, and that really reveals what Twitter's ideology is. So that was released on Monday, and then yesterday, Project Veritas again releases another video of undercover footage they grabbed with a senior Twitter employee. This is Alex Martinez. He's the lead client partner of Twitter, and he was caught in undercover video talking candidly about Twitter and Elon Musk in particular. And what he says about Elon Musk is, it doesn't sound very how would you say, all-inclusive and caring, as some may purport themselves to be, because he brings up that Elon Musk has Asperger's, and statements saying that that makes Elon special, so to speak. So here's some of that undercover footage revealed yesterday by Project Veritas.
Well, right now we don't make profit, so it's going to say ideology, which is what's led us to not being profitable.
The rest of us who have been here believe in something that's good for the planet and not just to give people free speech. Because again, these people really do believe in what we're doing. These are the policies we've put in place for misinformation or mislabeling media or whatever.
Yeah.
Why do you think this should be taken down?
Yeah.
Those are the questions they're going to ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be hard for him to be because people should make their own decision. It's no, but people don't know how to make a rational decision if you don't put out correct things that are supposed to be out in the public. As an advertiser, as my business is what I do every day and why I go out is we want it to be as fair and transparent and accurate as possible.
Yeah.
And if that means there's a level of censorship to make it correct, quote unquote, again, and what does correct mean? I guess it just kind of goes back to the idea of what is correct?
If we're implementing all these rules that and Elon wants to dismantle them, then technically our ideology has led us to not making money because we're not making money. And Elon wants to turn it the other way so that we can make money. There's a statement they need all 7,000 people to say. And so they can't tell us that the real truth.
He has Asperger's.
Yeah, I know that.
So he's special. You're special needs. You're literally special needs. So I can't even take what you're saying seriously. Targeting of tweets.
Wait.
So you can hear him talking about how Elon is special needs, and he can't take serious what Elon says. So that's going to come back to bite Twitter pretty hard. So this is just yet another element in the conversation about free speech. You heard there that Twitter doesn't like free speech. They want to tell you what to think. You heard it from that particular employee at Twitter. So I don't think this story is going to go anywhere anytime soon. All right, it is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and